Welcome to the Out on a Limb podcast. We are all interconnected to a greater web of consciousness. Our aim is to open your mind to a new world through having open-minded discussions about what we perceive our reality to be.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Out on a Limb podcast with your hosts, Will and Allison and Samantha.
Sing my name.
And I'm trying to jazz it up a little.
Wow, I thought at first you were going to ask me to say my own name, but okay.
Like,
You looked over at me like,
Isn't there
she's zhuzhing up the set.
Isn't there a song, Say My Name, Say My Name? Or
yes.
is that a bad song?
No, it's,
Okay. Yes, no?
Say my name, say my name.
It's
It sounds
part of a
like you're
song.
in the middle of something.
I think
Say
it's-
my name. I don't know. That's just going
is it a
on.
90s song? I think it's a 90s song.
Something like that. Well, anyway, we are here at the Treehouse bringing to you once again oracle card readings for April, so you know what to expect with this energy. Every month, it's like a mystery that we unbox, isn't it?
Wow.
Because the way
Oh my
things are
God.
going,
The way you said
the
that.
way
know,
they're
right?
going, it's like a little box and you're afraid to open it. You unwrap
It's called
it.
Pandora's.
What's in there?
So exciting.
It is exciting. So these guys are all going to tell us
Are they though?
what to expect.
Well,
And
I'm
then
curious
a message
for
for
April.
audience members. All right. So if I recall correctly, for March, you all made me go first. And I remember I did because I like my James Van Prague. In fact, one of the commenters, I can't remember if it was Lauren, somebody asked what was our favorite deck. Do you guys have a favorite deck? This is probably my favorite deck. I answered her in the comments from last month. I just like
I
this one
don't
because it's a
know.
basic all around, and it was my first general good one for your daily life or for readings for others.
I don't know.
I don't necessarily have a
You guys
favorite
don't have a favorite?
deck. No.
No, I mean, if you ask me about tarot cards, bringers of the light. And I
Oh,
just,
are they like official tarot? Like the real tarot? Like these are oracle cards, but you're talking bringers of the light or the real tarot?
yeah,
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
tarot.
tarot.
I didn't realize that.
To tarot. It's just they are just so, like, colors are natural and the artistry, and it just, oof.
Yeah.
Bringers of the light.
Bringers of the light. They're awesome.
These
Who
cards
wrote
are
that one or did that one? Do you know?
No,
The
I
artist?
don't. I saw it and fell in love with it. So that's my favorite tarot deck. With these guys, I don't know, because Oracle's not my first love, Oracle cards. But I did do at a recent tarot event. I did let some people choose, like, just if there was time or whatever, choose the dragon cards. The Dragon Oracle. And that was,
So you have this one too?
insightful.
Did you buy this one? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have them if you do the Sophia code, don't you?
Oh, I don't know. I guess.
No, I'm
Maybe so.
kidding. Just,
Yeah, that
we
makes
just started
sense.
talking about, we're like, oh my God, dragon cards, gotta have the dragon cards.
Oh,
And
that
I'm
worked
sure-
out well.
I'm sure our friend Lori
You're
did. She
shuffling them?
loves-
Don't,
I have to because
you bent the deck.
they were already bent. They
Oh.
were already bent.
Who bent them?
You.
I didn't bend them.
You shuffled them the last time.
I think
I
I like
didn't
the
have that
deck
one.
that Will has, the Divine Masters, but I don't remember, because these, the Starseed, the Keepers of the Light, and the ones you have, the Divine,
The universe has your
yeah,
thing.
they're all very similar to me, and yet they're different, but I can never remember which one is which.
Correct. They do look, they have some of the same
Yeah.
characters. All right.
So it's very, very
Do we
confusing.
want to let Will go first, or do you want to go first?
I can go first then. Okay.
You're going to go
He
first?
volunteered.
There you go first.
All right.
They don't slide. They're like all stuck
You do
together
it,
as a
do
big
it like
clump.
this. Just spread them out, and then your hand's just gonna choose the right one.
Oh,
Tip for sticky cards.
Those are nice and slidey. These
you
are
need some
these
powder.
are these are
Does that
like
look
matte.
yeah,
These are matte, so they were like all clumped
yeah,
together.
these are slick.
Okay, so pro tip on that, if
Yeah.
you're going to develop your own deck,
Go
pay
glossy.
the extra and go
Glossy.
like coated. Yeah,
Coated.
coated, because I remember we used to, oh my God, we went through a period during COVID where my husband and my son and I, because you're stuck at your house or whatever, and we were playing three-handed euchre, on the regular, like constantly. And you know, it was getting humid and the cards were failing on us and stuff. It was hard to work with. And then I started this whole thing about how I want to make cards against humidity. Like,
Good one.
and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to brand that so you guys can take it and run with it, because I never did it.
That's
But-
hilarious.
Because they were just dying on us so quickly.
box.
We were hardcore.
That is funny. All right.
It's a
All right.
twist, isn't it?
So you're using which deck first?
The Divine Masters Oracle,
Okay.
Kyle Gray.
Divine Masters.
Y'all, I'm going to actually push this down just a tad. There we go. So I can get another box in. Otherwise, I won't be able to get another box in.
I got lots of room.
You got plenty of room.
You could put one of Allison's here, you
I
know.
could. Yeah, we might do that. We'll put one of Allison's there. Well, this is
It's like
interesting.
we've never done this before.
No,
it's all
never.
brand new. It's like we all have
Each month,
Alzheimer's.
It's like Groundhog Day.
Right. So, my Divine Master, Isis,
Ooh.
right? And this is, you're saying this is for April. This is in general for April,
April.
right? I'll read it first. So what does Isis have to say? She has to say, reclaiming magic. Ooh, that's interesting, because that's what we just talked about on that spray I have.
Nice spray.
Yeah, and my spray. My spray and your spray. Our sprays. Anyway.
Which you'll hear somewhere around
When would it be?
Easter.
Yes.
I'm not sure if it's
Oh
air
my
first.
Yeah, somewhere around Easter. I don't know. Somewhere around there. Yes. Yes, we'll talk about
I
it.
hear you talking to me, Isis.
Right? And then at the bottom it says, call back your power and what is rightfully yours. So,
After the madness of March.
right?
Here we
Do
go.
I need to say anything?
He had to
Everything
take his glasses off. Here
I
you go.
know, I'm like, and take a sip of water, like about to unveil the truth
Winding
here.
up. Yeah.
Or we
Yeah.
built him up so
I got-
much.
Right, I know. You created a monster here. All right, what do we have to say about
But I
Isis?
don't want to do
I
it.
don't like doing this. Everyone's staring at me, and I don't like that.
No.
You guys,
Staring
just don't look at him for a moment while he does this.
Cast your eyes aside, please.
I want pictures. I
Stage-
wish you could
stage
upload
fright.
pictures to YouTube and have people going,
Stage
"No,
fright.
we're-"
No, I'm just
Send them all to Will. Pictures of you going like this in front of your camera. And then
Right.
we'll put them all up on
Right.
one of these. Yeah, there we go.
just photoblast me. Isis. All right. I like the aspect of magic, and we talk about reclaiming our power and bringing our power back to ourselves, and because that power is yours. And so I'll start there, and then I'll work my way into the magic aspect of it. So, I mean, really through March, we've all of us have probably expelled enough energy out, no matter what situations are taking place around you, politically or not, or just in your families or whatever. But March, bit of draining. We're sending all of our energy out into the ether, into situations around us. And you may be feeling a bit depleted. So this is why it's critical right now to bring that energy back as we enter into April. That energy is going to be needed to kind of hold your spot in the moment. And it's really leading up to this aspect of magic in your life, because as now you're entering into the beginning edges of summer and the months of summer, there's going to be a lull in what we've been experiencing. And that's really where you're going to shine with your energy. And that's where the magic's going to settle in for you. And that magic is going to come in many different ways, because you're holding your power back. You're bringing it into yourself. There's going to be transition in that, meaning you're going to find yourself at decision points of, what should I choose? Because either of the choices are going to be exceptional for you, whether it's a new job, whether it's a new relationship, or it's going to be maybe even something within your job that's going to change, and you're going to be right there at the doorstep of it. So it's really taking on this understanding that you can't go ahead and do these things and find yourself in these choice points if you don't have your power. And that's the magic in it, is you have to bring your power in, so you're sustained in your energies, so that as that magic unfolds in front of you, you know exactly where to go and maneuver in it. So it is finding yourself, and this is going to be sustained over the summer months. This magic, I can see where this thread moves through the summer months, and there's going to be a lot that's going to unfold for you through those summer months. But it starts in April. It's because it's pulling back all of that energy that's been cast out, say even from the beginning of the year. And you're feeling it, you're throwing that energy out for survival, for comfort, for peace of mind, but really you're shedding energy, thinking it's really for the best, but really that best energy is served for self at the moment. So that's why it needs to be called back, and then that's where you're really going to see this thread, and I'll call it a thread of magic, that's going to begin in April but last throughout the summer months for you. And just be observant of that and keep that energy, amplified, and allow it to I guess express through you in that, and in a magical way, because this is why you're here, this moment now, and how all this is going to transpire for you. So,
Thank you.
I wish you were good at reading the oracle cards.
I try. I try.
It's like resist.
I know.
Okay, and then bleh. It's amazing.
Just try.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just once I get tapped into it, it's once I'm in the energy of it, I just let it kind of unfold in front of me. I don't know.
That's how it's done. That's how it's done. Tthank you very much.
Sure.
You got it?
Yeah.
You're going to go
ahead.
last?
I'll sum it all up.
Okay. Master Buddha, increased awareness. He's doing the whole, wait.
Which one is this? This is Keepers of...
Yeah.
I gotta write that
Keepers of the Light, Kyle Gray. So Master Buddha, it's about increased awareness, deep connection, trust your inner voice. I could riff off of your thing. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to keep it straight right here. No. It's just, yeah. So to me, March is sort of this unfolding of just moving all this, or wait, hold on. It's like putting your life in a ninja blender and it going like that, and kind of the undoing. And we are doing this in March. So there's kind of the unfoldment process that's occurring. We've already sensed a little bit of it with like Schumann resonance going off the charts and stuff like that. So I don't expect it to be any different. But it's kind of like, that separating from the wheat from the chaff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that kind of a thing where once all of that has been exposed, it's like you do that. I'm sorry, I'm giving a lot of examples, but it's just what's coming through.
That's good. That's helpful.
But like you run that marathon, or whatever it is, you've done that somatic, whatever, gotten all that energy out of you, and then what's left? You're not doing the struggle, you're not doing the fight, you're not doing so at that point, you're more in that holy state of oneness with your body. That's when the truth comes out. Like I think about when I was a kid, and my parents were going through their divorce. We lived like second row back from the beach on Hilton Head. It was incredible. And I would go down the beach and I would run as fast and hard as I could in one direction until I could go no further and literally just fall down in the sand. And then it's like, there's nothing left but you facing yourself. And I remember just being in tears and wanting to scream and yell. And, I just get it all out of me. And then there would be that holiness or wholeness, whatever, inside of me. I was like taken apart and put back together again, and I could move forward. And that's kind of, so March is this blender, and you're going to go into April. And April is going to be like, now you're in alignment with your greater being, and able to express yourself. But here's the thing, it says deep connection, trust your inner voice. So many of us don't. And the important thing is at that time, it's not radical speaking. You don't just speak out and not pay attention, to your words matter. But if you just can move into, if you're in a meditative state, like separate from all of that stuff that's happened, you should be more in a meditative state. It should be coming from the heart then. And when you speak from the heart, when that urge comes up and you might go, no, I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not going to say it. Say it as gently but firmly, with boundaries, what needs to be said. Because your awareness, like it's almost like, I'm just testing this out. Usually when I say things out loud, then, my guides will go, yep, nope, you got it wrong, go this way. So I'm just asking, because you were talking about the summer, and we're talking about April here. You are definitely going to be, just as a whole, we're going to be setting ourselves up for this next step. And they're telling me it's going to be the next card that's going to really state more of summer for what I'm trying to get across here.
Yeah.
But trusting your inner voice is a piece. And then there's going to be another component in May. So this will be exciting to go into May and see what this is. So deep connection, trust your inner voice.
Awesome.
Very good.
There we go.
Yikes. Denial.
And it's,
okay, well,
and
this
it's not a river in Egypt.
Have fun with that one.
I love how I either set the stage if I get to go first with this deck,
Or you wrap it up.
or I wrap it up. I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with the insight of awareness.
Oh.
So this is exactly what Samantha's been talking about and what Will was alluding to, is this idea of there's been a whirlwind, not only in March, but really January, February, March. It's been this spiraling blender. So we come into April and we start to maybe see some reprieve, but we're all tense. Our bodies are tense and on high alert and ready to react and to respond. We're coming from a state of fear, perhaps, of protection, of ego, of any of those types of things. And so it's about awareness of those feelings starting to surface and allowing yourself to have some physiological downtime. Becoming self-aware is critical in where we're headed, not just in April, but onwards. It's one of those skills that we have to hone, because it's the foundation of discernment. It's the foundation of authentic relationships. It's the foundation of everything, is to be self-aware, to know thyself. Who was that, Socrates or whatever? Who said that? Know thyself. You have to know yourself before you can understand yourself in relation to everything else. So to know that you're not responding to a trigger, then you know yourself and you know your triggers. And so take time, as Will said, to bring that energy back. And often when the collective or a higher self of a client advises us or them to do that, they'll say, visualize those energies that you put out and visualize them coming back. Just sit in meditation and quiet. Watch those energy strings coming back into you so that you can be your sovereign whole self, and then act from a place of self-awareness, not in denial of what's happening, not from a state of fear that might have been activated over the past several months. Allow yourself to regroup, rejuvenate, and calm yourself, so that you can become self-aware.
Awesome.
Well
Don't
done.
tip it over.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, there we go. Again,
So now I have to
every
fish
day
it
is
out.
new. Every day is new.
Wow.
Look at you.
Very cool.
We're going to get around the circuit soon enough.
Yep.
I guess that's what, is that, I don't know. I guess that's what intuition feels like, but I feel like it's
Yes.
just sort of common sense.
No, it's but
Feels like,
but that common
sense
it's like anybody
that-
else would have said
that
the same
com-
thing from that card.
that common
I don't
sense
know.
is coming from somewhere,
I don't
right?
know.
And that common sense is coming from some connection,
called trust, I
connectedness,
guess. I think
right? And you
trust.
trust what's coming through.
Thank you.
See, everyone
cheerleader.
has these doubts. Like, it's just,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and okay, so I just wrapped up my Zen Tarot class. And I'm gonna do another one because I got a bunch of people who are going, oh my God, you did it without me. And I'm going, yay. Yes, I did. And we were wanting to do it. So that's cool.
Not yay that you were left out. Yay that you don't want to do it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you want to do it.
Well, all right, that could go. That
I'll do
one's-
another group. Yay.
That one's solidly sideways.
Sorry. But what was really cool about it was seeing each of the participants like realize that they could do it.
Yeah.
And they could trust in it. And
Right.
we're talking about like readings, like doing
Yeah.
spreads and stuff. And like one of the participants, and she'll watch this and she'll know what I'm talking about. She was like, she's taken the class, but she was resisting. She's like, I just don't get it. I have no relationship with the cards, whatever, like could not go there.
Yeah.
And, by the second week, she's going, okay, I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to get it. And then we would integrate doing readings for the self, readings for other people.
Yeah.
Like, so they were actively doing this stuff. And it was just kind of blowing their minds because they're like, how do I know this? How am I getting this right? And it's the craziest thing. It's so much fun to see the light bulbs go
When
off.
I think it was the very first class I did of the 4-week series of, exploring your gifts. And we touch on energy and psychic and mediumship and all that stuff. And when it came to the mediumship, the first class, we had one lady in there. Said, and we do our introduction. She said, the only reason I'm here is to support my friend. I'm just here to support my friend. I don't
Those
really.
are the ones. Those
Right.
are always the ones.
I don't really believe in this, but I'm just here to support her because she said it'd be a fun thing to do, and so I'm just here. She blew the socks off of everyone that that had sat in front of her. I mean,
how
she
it
was
works.
so dialed in, and it was just amazing. So, yeah. So if you think you can't do it,
And then we called
You
in.
can do it.
When you had an odd number
Yeah.
during one class, so we called in our daughter who was probably, 18 at the time.
not even. I don't think.
And we know she's intuitive, but she would always shy away from this. But we're like, just be a sitter. A sitter is the person that gets read.
Right.
So they brought her in to be a sitter so that it would be an even number of people. And then she enjoyed it. So she's participating and she was like off
Dialed
the
in.
chain. It was hilarious.
Fun.
Yeah.
That is so
And all of the
cool.
other adults were like praising her about how good she was. And I think that was helpful for her self-esteem there.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are definitely a gateway drug into
Oh yeah.
spirituality.
It's and this is the funny thing is like on my journey, I didn't even. I mean,
You didn't-
Allison,
you jumped over those.
Allison would always use the soul's journey and just pick a card for me or whatever the situation was, and I never really picked up cards. Not even a deck of tarot. I didn't have any interest in it. I just
Well,
leapt
because
off
you
the-
kind of, you went right into
Yeah.
channeling, like that was,
well, it wasn't.
Or getting straight into
It was right
information.
into. So before the channeling, it was really during Reiki sessions. I would literally when we do our dual practitioner sessions. Allison works at the feet, I work at the crown, and I had put my hands on somebody's head, and it was literally like getting jacked into the matrix. And and it took me a second, but once I was in, it was like I'm getting imagery, I'm getting relatives, I'm getting all this information just flowing in, and that's the only time that I truly get imagery. When I do mediumship work, I don't get that
because you're out
imagery.
of there.
Right.
Oh, no, mediumship.
Yeah,
you're
when I do
saying, yeah.
mediumship, when I stand in front of a group or stand in front of
You don't
somebody,
see images?
I don't get images. I just get I get a
Knowing.
deep knowing, like an instant. That's it, and then I just start talking about it, and it's dialed right in. But when I'm connected to a client on the table with my hands on their crown, it's like I'm literally seeing imagery. And
That's so interesting, because when I did my mediumship work with Chrysilla Lewies, we did a 6-week series,
Yeah.
and that was phenomenal, by the way, if anybody wants to work with Priscilla.
And you can.
And we
had her.
interviewed
Yeah, we had her on the
her, so you can
podcast.
watch
Yeah.
the show. But anyway, I would close my eyes and get images. Like I saw a red candy apple red car in a driveway. I saw what the porch looked like. I saw everything. It was wild. It was it's so wild when you just trust.
I think
crazy.
I did.
Yeah. So it's not so obvious.
When I did that session for Elaine and her mom, I got real strong imagery there. But that's easy because our friend Elaine that comes to my Thursday night things, and we've done other things with her. When she comes, she brings the entire family tree with
The
her.
whole family. Yeah,
They're so like she's come to sit in on a mediumship circle, and it's just Elaine. But it's Elaine and 25 of her relatives.
so her family.
Oh, so there's plenty of people stepping forward.
Yes.
And so
they
Elaine's
hijacked
got
the session.
right. So Elaine's got to like, look, you got to sit down. You got to sit down
Yeah.
because you're taking it over. So yeah. So
And he'll be describing somebody, and then he's like, Elaine, is this that great uncle again?
Yeah.
Can you tell him to step aside so somebody else can jump in?
right.
Yeah.
So
And they just laugh. They sit there and they laugh. They think it's funny.
yeah, it's
Meanwhile, the other people are kind of going, I really want to.
Correct.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's hilarious. All right, honey.
all right. So this is for April for somebody specific that's listening.
Yes, and what was the deck?
This is Universe Has Your Back.
Okay. And the card is
Oh wow. Wow. Okay. It's
Good luck
actually.
with
I mean,
that.
I could throw myself into this one. Let's see here.
Does it have a name on the card or anything?
No, it doesn't. It just has a saying. That's all it is.
Okay.
Yep. So this one is when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. So, goodness. All right. So where do I go with that one? Give me a second. So the first thing I'm getting is that this aspect of, and I gotta put my glasses on, I gotta see again because I gotta kind of read it while I'm doing this one. The inner light, when you're focusing on that, bringing that inner light in and focusing on that inner light, not enough light has been let in. For whoever this is, you haven't allowed enough of that inner light actually to be there, to be the focus point. It's there, but it's not the focus point. And this is for this month of April. This is the time period where there's going to be a transitional point for yourself that you're going to shift that focus, that perception of yourself to that inner light that's always been there. It's going to be almost like a revealing of itself. You're going to allow it to really come to the surface and be present in your life. And this might also be a reaction to bringing all that energy back, because it's going to be what really energizes you. And when you do that, then your whole perception of what's out in front of you is going to be, as it says, through that lens of love. Because whatever this transitional point is that's set before you, this is going to involve, what I'm seeing is I see tearing in front of me. And so there's some sort of tearing that's going to be taking place, whether that's within a relationship or a family or a family structure or relatives or something. But I don't see the clarity on that. I just see this tearing or this ripping taking place. And so you're feeling, the feeling of darkness is there, but you're going to be the light that you're actually going to see the love in what's taking place. And you're going to be a bit of that catalyst that is going to actually repair or heal that tearing or that ripping that's taking place. So, but it is letting that inner light and the focus to be shifted to that, so that you can really begin to glow in your essence. And then the I don't want to say repercussion because it's not quite the word I'm looking for, but the change that comes about because of this is because your lens of how you perceive the world is actually going to shift from whatever it was to seeing it in its true aspect of love, because that's all we exist in is love. It's just clouded by everything we put around it. So that's kind of what in essence is taking place. Is there's a lot of stuff that's clouding your true light and the way you see the world around you. So
Beautiful. Thank you.
Wow. I think that's really going to help someone out there. That was very cool.
I could feel it as I started going into it. There's definitely a connection there with.
Did you
someone.
see imagery?
I didn't see an actual image of tearing, but I could feel like I could like feel separation in my knowing that was there. So that's why I used the word tear. So yeah,
Okay,
interesting.
so this is for somebody in April. And it's upside down. I hate when they're upside down. I do not read upside down
Just read it
cards.
upside down.
No.
Stand on your head and read the card.
Right.
Okay. Oh, I like this
That's
card.
pretty. And what's the deck?
It is the Starseed Oracle.
Ooh.
God, that is gorgeous. There's so much in this. Okay, so it says, I know you're going to put it up there.
Yeah, I'll put them up. Yep.
But look how clear that comes across.
Yeah.
Like normally, well, it's not a glossy deck. Okay, all paths lead home. It's about the inner authority, intuition, and turning your gaze within. And so, there's so much in this card that captures like the communication with my guides. But one of the things that I'm seeing, it made me immediately think of, excuse me, tarot cards, the 5 of Cups, where you've got 3 cups, what is it? 2 cups in front of you, 3 cups spilled behind you, I believe, or vice versa. And it's like this, like you're so focused on a situation, this thing around you, that's creating this dissatisfaction, not the way you want it to be, that you're not seeing. If you just turn around, you would see behind you that there's still this goodness, this love, this whatever. So you're very wrapped up in the, it's almost like being wrapped up in the illusion, like you're not even seeing the situation for what it is. And if you could just get yourself to the point, we talk about the inner authority, the intuition, turning your gaze within. It's like stop consuming whatever's coming in that is outside of you, that is an external authority. But it mainly feels like there are people who are like, you're asking people's opinion and everybody's giving their input. And so it's like, you're feeling like, well, I should respond because of this, or I should feel this way because of that. And it's creating more dissonance. It's creating more just of this illusion, like you're not even seeing the situation for what it is anymore. And so if you could just close out those voices and turn within and ask yourself, what is the truth? And it's not their truth. It's not the person who's the situation's truth. It's what your truth is, how you perceive the situation. That's using that inner authority, through intuition. So you're going to find your way through it then. Okay. I like that. Beautiful card. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You'll get through it.
Very good.
Yep. Just stop asking everyone around you.
Yeah.
All right. For another person out there, for April.
So cool. I do. Okay. So I might be able to say this is my favorite deck thus far here. That's very cool.
It is a good deck. I like that. I like the Starseed deck. Yeah.
I need to probably look on YouTube for that deck, because there is a way that you're supposed to put the card. That's why it's diagonally cut instead of just a normal box. And we tried to figure this out the first time we used that, and
Yeah, we fiddled with it for a while.
But does it really matter?
Not really.
Okay, so I have the
I don't think it fits in
Dragon
there.
Oracle.
Tried that. Didn't work.
Yeah.
The card's flipped around.
All right, the Lilac Fire Dragon.
Ooh.
Transmute through the power of divine love. Wow, I see a theme here.
Right?
Open up to transcendent love and enlightenment. Purity of heart brings peace, hope, and joy. So there's somebody out there right now that is feeling a severe lack of self-worth. Something's happened that has made you almost hopeless, that you don't even know who to turn to or what to do or how to get out of it. You just are in a pit. And you need to either, if you can't do it on your own, find someone that you trust who can help you to reconnect with that divine fire dragon, or the source of love itself, source, God, even an angelic being that can be a bridge, or a galactic that can be a bridge to source. Sometimes it takes just a little step in that direction. I'm feeling almost like I want to cry. So this is somebody who's really desperate right now. And you need to reconnect with that source. It's the source outside of you to find the source within you. So whether it's looking outside to any of your guides, or someone who can connect you with one of your guides, or bring you a message from one of your guides to help you then to bring forth your own light and enlightenment and your own divine connection, allowing that to heal you. There's some healing, a great deal of healing that needs to take place. But there is hope. And the dragon can burn away whatever that is that created that. Gosh, the overwhelming emotion that's coming with this card is incredible. Man. I think it's not only the emotion of whatever happened, but also the emotion of God's love that's coming through right now. Holy cow. Woo.
Breathe
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah. So transmuting whatever's going through the power of divine love. The power of divine love is what I was feeling.
Well, that reminds me of St. Elmo's fire, which is purple.
You know what's interesting is
Ladies and gentlemen, she'll be here all week doing card readings, so just sign up early.
when we were in the church in Texas, you know, the times that I cry are when I feel spirit. So it's not, I don't cry. I mean, everybody cries when they're sad or grief-stricken or something, but I also cry when I'm joyful or when I feel spirit moving through me. If I would sing hymns and feel that connection, when I feel that connection, tears, woo. Yeah, so when I was down with Becky, as soon as she said, "We are here," meaning my guides were here, I did, wow, boo-hoo, because I felt that, I felt them. So right now during this session, I just kept feeling source coming through, this love, this divine love that wants to come and overtake you. So there's going to bring tears. It's these tears of release.
Well, like the card says, transmutation. There has to be
transmute those feelings. You got to let that emotion flow through. Do
Cleansing.
reach out and let us know if you want to feel, if you're okay feeling vulnerable enough to share. You don't have to, obviously, but it would be interesting to know.
Or they can go to the website and directly email you.
They can.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
I'm just curious if there's anybody that resonated with, because trust me, I'm feeling it. I was really feeling that.
Well, when you get those real strong hits, I mean, I know I tell my clients, please reach out. They almost never do, and it crushes me because I'm like, I know what I felt. I know what you're going through or about to go through. I just want to know you're okay.
and there are support systems out there. So if you have a group of friends and close confidants that you can talk to, or whatever you're going through, do that. Don't try to take this on yourself. It's not a
Well, I think this message is going to cause the crack and let the floodgates open, releasing all of that old stuff and allowing God's energy, source energy to come in.
So it's a good thing. It's always we always see the heartache and all that stuff as the end and the worst thing. And you got to be human. You got to feel the emotions. Having just gone through a really rough period, who knows, it could continue to be rough, but right now I'm in the lull. It's there's always gifts. There's always upsides.
Yeah. Well, call in the Lilac Fire Dragon too, to surround you with some protection, to blow off whatever needs to go.
Yeah, stop the video and take a screenshot
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
That's why I try to put the cards up as big as I can to fill the screen, so that if anybody wants to,
See the
focus on that.
intricacy.
I noticed that you did that last month because I was watching it the other day, and you had like my whole face and half of your face is covered with the thing for the longest time, for almost the whole time you were doing it was during your reading. It was one of the cards.
I didn't shrink it down? I thought I shrunk it down.
No, on one of them it stayed up really big for quite a while.
Oh,
And I
that's a
thought, I guess
mistake.
nobody wants
Nobody
to see
needs
me.
to
It's
see.
okay.
That's a mistake. Because they're supposed to,
You start big.
for the people behind this, that like to know the behind the scenes stuff, I put up generally the big blow up of the cover of the box and the card
Right.
for about 7 seconds, and then I shrink it down so it's just kind of in this level down. So, so
Yeah,
people
you
can
usually
focus.
do that. This
Okay.
one just stayed up longer for whatever.
So what I'm seeing is that you blow it up big, but you run it through AI first so that it's moving its mouth to our words. Come on, would that not be cool? You would see the dragon
I'm not
describing
quite-
Let him fly across the screen.
Right, I'm not quite there yet, but yeah, animate them, put them
I
on the
did,
screen.
this is interesting because I did, after what you said about the dragon deck, that they were difficult to read or whatever, I sat here before it was my turn and I said, okay, dragons, I know you're with me, so give me what I need to say.
Give it
And
the-
they did,
yeah.
they really did.
I have to say this from a I don't know from a proud husband, I guess. I don't know.
God's
I mean, but to see
my
to see the progression in Allison and her gifts, it's yeah.
Thank you, babe.
to
It's very
go
warming.
from the whole.
Oh, I don't feel anything.
I can't do what you guys can do.
You guys do everything. I just do this. No.
We're having so much fun razzing
Right.
around because we've always known you're able to.
Right.
I know. Thank you. My
So-
cheerleaders.
Yeah. Everyone's your cheerleader. My goodness.
Everybody is.
Everybody
Everybody
is.
is.
Everybody sees that potential deep within you.
Well, just because you have such a way of harnessing information, like just you can listen to anyone, you can sum it up, you can
Yeah.
bullet point, you can do all that stuff, and that is so. What is that? Left brain, and
But now taking and going to the other side of the brain and actually
Yeah.
bringing this information through. That's
and it's so much fun
Yeah.
to see someone do that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I can go. Just like, tech, and then go into the spirit,
Right.
Oh, wait, we're back to tech again. Let me work this out. Okay, now
Right,
we're going to go back to
right,
spirit,
Right?
but yeah.
And,
Multi-skilled.
and we're seeing you just do that because you're releasing, you're like
Right.
opening
Trusting.
up.
And
yeah.
I will and we talked about this on a previous episode, but Samantha's just wrapping it up. Allison's been through it, but this whole experience with the Sophia code, that's I think really the beginning of the true transformation within you as far as owning that piece of you and knowing that it's
sacredness?
right. That's and the abilities that are actually there. So it's really.
It's been a lot about stepping into my power,
Mm-hmm.
stepping into one's power. It's about a lot of us. I'm not the only one getting that message. And so
Yeah.
Kuan Yin is really good about that.
And
Stepping
it's not
into-
power. It's not power in a way that's
No, not ego power.
No,
We're talking
no.
about the power of the divinity within.
right.
Which is what that dragon was saying.
Yeah.
But that's down the road. First the release, the cracking open the release, and letting the love in. And then knowing that you are that love.
Yeah. And I see
a whole
the
process.
messages for the individual, somebody listening. Again, they all kind of synchronized. I mean, it all,
It's interesting. I
And
just,
we have seen in the comments, people say that was for me, or we know
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah.
So it is resonating, and we really appreciate the feedback. It's
Yeah.
nice to know that.
Yeah.
well, I mean, we're sitting here just chatting about a lot of stuff, and then we interview people. But I think it's always helpful, to see people put their money where their mouth is. And, like we know Will can channel, but like to sit here and do this
Yeah.
on a regular.
Yeah.
I'm cementing this so he can't do
Yeah.
away with
So I
the
can't
oracle
wiggle out of
cards.
it.
Because he has a little resistance, and yet then when he does it, it's like, no, because you don't get to just close your eyes and go, okay, now I'm channeling.
Because he doesn't do a lot of stuff consciously.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
But it is a good practice for me. It is a good thing to do because it reminds me that, it kind of reminds me of that's where I started. I mean, I started doing, first with Reiki and then with psychic and then with mediumship. And it is all those actions that kind of led me to what I do primarily, which is the channeling. But it's the roots of where I've come from. And the more I do it, it is exciting. It is fun. I'm, for those that know me really well, this one, that's just my persona. I like to just, should we really? Do I? Come on, that kind of. Yeah, I just like to play in that, and because that's my human. That's my, and oddly
He
enough,
entertains his human.
He's got to
quite a
take
lot.
his human
Right.
out to play.
right?
Yes, he does.
But the thing about it is, we talk about this. We'll be talking about this in a. I got to think about where we're placing these things, in our stream of consciousness episode. But I just recently had a session with someone. For me, I was the receiver of it. And one of the messages that came through is really that aspect of my playfulness is a crucial piece. And it is that crucial piece of me that I don't ever want to lose, because it's what drew me to a lot of this stuff in the first place. And if I
Not being afraid to fail, make fun of yourself.
right,
have fun
exactly,
with it.
exactly. So
It's youthful exuberance.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna fess up. I mean, I think you guys know, but like I have not done cards. When we started this Oracle thing, like the first one, I was like,
Were you too? Yeah.
oh yeah, because I
so
have
funny.
I've not done cards and
These types of cards. So you do Oracle.
no,
really?
well I wasn't doing that much tarot.
Or tarot, I mean. Tarot.
Yeah. So I
tarot.
wasn't even doing that much tarot. Like,
Okay.
I mean, there's a period of time because I unhooked myself from it, and I was worried that I would become dependent on it again,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Right.
And so it's been a journey for me to be able to go, oh no, it's just enhanced. This is fun. So doing this like alongside you guys has been really, really fun. And then going in and doing the Zen Tarot with my peeps. And I've talked to them about it. I'm very straightforward, open about it, is that I had not gone through and studied the cards for so long. Like I had my assigned meanings and stuff. So all of a sudden they're pointing out things in the cards that I was no longer seeing.
Right.
And so it was bringing back a depth to the readings I was doing.
point.
And like this tarot thing, the Mardi Gras tarot party I did last week, I had not been asked to do something on the spot like that. Like I'd reached out to our friend Toby and said, Toby, how do you do this? Because she does those. And I asked Lori, I've asked a couple of people because I'd never had an opportunity follow through to do it. And I was all like nervous and uptight about it. So, we can do this stuff and get this information. And there's always that, am I going to say the right thing?
that
Am I
moment.
going to connect? Am I going to make sense? Are they going to look at me? And I find the only people that look at me like, I don't know what you're talking about, are the people who, one, they don't have an intention for the reading, which is, that's okay. But they also don't want to receive the information.
They're afraid of what's going to come through for themselves.
Yeah.
In which
And-
case,
yeah.
they wouldn't have sat in front of you to do that. You know what I mean? If they really didn't want a reading.
No,
they're
they
not
do. No, they do. They do. Because it's
Even
like
if they don't want to hear? what
Yeah,
you-
it's like a challenge. Like,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
really nervous about this, and I tell them, well, in a reading as brief as this, I'm not going to tell you you're going to die. I just start off with that because I figure
There are
we
medium
set the
ethics.
bar.
Right, we're going to break the ice here.
medium ethics, and you don't do that. You don't know how to do that.
I'm like, it would have to come through 3 times, and I doubt within 15 minutes it's going to come through 3 times.
Right.
So you just have to go with it. And what's crazy, I also told them in one of my tarot things that I was doing, I had used up, I will use the major arcana to place like life events for each month. So I get an idea of the major theme for the month. Well, and then I was doing a secondary spread from that. Well, I had forgotten half the major arcana. Okay, I'd left half of them over here and did the reading so I wasn't using a full deck, a full arcana deck, and yet it still flowed. It still made
works.
sense, and that's why I keep telling. The information's going to come
Okay,
through
yeah.
one way or another. It's
That's
going
right.
to happen,
Because
and
the card's just a tool.
yep,
Yeah.
it's so freaking cool.
Your divine connection. I don't want to say your brain or your mind.
No,
but
yeah,
your
it's
divine
not.
connection
It's-
is
I
really
forget.
what's bringing the information.
Who was it? Was it not Bashar, but who's the other? Cryon. Wasn't it Cryon that brought through that said that, when we're having to do our
Oh, yeah,
rituals,
yeah.
right? He
Your
talks
guides
about
are
rituals.
sitting there.
Your guys are just sitting there waiting and tapping their fingers like, wait, all right, stupid human, just get done with whatever you're doing. We're waiting
Right.
on you. It's kind of the same way. Your
Yeah.
spirit's waiting
Ready
for you
to
to
go.
waiting for you to get done shuffling your cards because it's already there. It's just you're using the cards just to feel comfortable with how to bring the stuff through.
Well,
And I think it's be feeling comfortable is the key, because
Yes.
what your guides would always tell you is just start speaking.
Right.
So once
Right.
you have
Which is the hardest
clue,
thing.
a little thing to start speaking about, it cues all the rest of the information.
And it also, because there's another side of that equation, and it's who's sitting across the table from you. So if you don't put out any cards and you just start spewing information, they're like, well,
I thought this was a card reading.
Right, I thought this was a card reading. So it's like there's give and take with it all.
So what I think we should do for the month of May
Oh boy,
is we don't use any cards.
and just do an intuitive
Oh,
reading.
for gosh sakes.
I'm good with that. I'm
Y'all
good.
are really
Game
killing
on.
me.
Game
Oh,
on.
he's all excited about it. Okay. Well, here's the thing.
Nah.
If we end up being on the road in Vegas or wherever you
I'll
are,
have my cards with me.
we don't take cards.
I'll get pebbles off the side of the road, and I'll
Like
write,
runes?
Like runes, and I'll
Read
just
the runes.
I'll read those stones.
You could do tea leaves.
I could do tea leaves,
I'll ask for a message in my
ashes, whatever.
dream. Tea leaves, true. We could do that.
Yeah.
Or ashes.
Oh my God, it's so
This'll
much
be
fun.
fun.
All the
Well,
different
I'll
things.
find some mice bones or mouse bones
Oh,
along the
gross.
trail and just throw them down with the stones.
Please, no.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, never a dull moment around here.
Yeah.
So this was fun. We hope that your April is beautiful and wonderful and amazing. Let us know in the comments how things are going or if any of this stuff resonated. And we appreciate you. We appreciate all of you. Please hit the thumbs up and like and share and all the jazz. And we will see you next time on Out on a Limb Podcast.
See ya.